Subway Surfer, Temple Run and Sonic Dash. If you ever played any of these, you know the drill. Dodge, switching lanes and survive. In this new series, we're building our own endless runner from scratch in Unreal Engine 5, step by step, all the way to a finished, polished game. In this episode, we're adding obstacles, collision detection and a proper game over. Let's get into it. Okay, so now we are in the editor and the first thing to do is to go in content drawer in our blueprints. Now I want to create a blueprint class and it's an actor. I want to call it BP obstacle, okay. And if you open it, okay, now we want to create a little, okay, simple mesh, and it's for now a placeholder, but it's a great way to know basically where our obstacles are spawned, okay? I want to get a static mesh, okay, something like that. And for this one, I choose simply a cube. Now, for the scale, I want to choose 2.5 for the epsilon, and for the zeta, I want to choose like 2.5. Okay, now for the location, I want to move it a little bit, maybe 125. So basically, it's the half of our scale. So in this case, you move it and this segment here starts from the ground. I want also to create a material for this one, so go in content in our materials. Yes, we have already our middle lane, is a white color, okay, so take this one and simply grab it here, okay, and now we have it. Now I want to do a simple thing here in BP obstacle. I want to search for the tag, and here in actor, advanced and tags, okay, click add, and this one is basically obstacle, okay. So every obstacle has now a tag, and with that tag you can simply check if is okay an obstacle and not another actor. Is a great way, okay, to do a simple check. Compile and save, and let's go back in our track segment. Okay, in our track segment in viewport, now I want to create 3 points, and we use that points to spawn our obstacles. A scene component, okay, middle point 0, okay. So now let's simply move it along the epsilon 1000, okay, so it's in the middle because our segment has a length of 2000 units, okay. And now for the 0, okay, I want to move it in this direction, okay, because we start from here and this is the end, okay. So this one is, okay, the first lane, and so it's basically 200, okay. Ctrl C, Ctrl V to duplicate it, and is middle point 1. Now this one is not 200, is 0, and the third one, so do the same thing, is not 0 but minus 200, okay. So here we want also to create some useful variables here, not only our middle points. This variable is basically a local array. This array, I want to call it free lanes, okay, this one, and it's basically an integer, so this one, with the right click of your mouse, now it's an array. Compile, and now for our values, I want to choose 3 different elements. The first one is 0, the second one is 1, and the third one is of course 2. I want to create another variable, is now the index free lanes, okay, right click, so it's not an array, it's a single, okay, variable, and I want to choose of course 2 because it's the maximum, okay, index for these 3 lanes. The last one variable here is another array, and this one is basically our BP obstacle, okay, so object reference, and with the right click is now an array. I want to call it obstacles, and so basically 3 lanes is an array that contains our lanes, and with that we can decide where we want to spawn our obstacle, okay. The index is basically a number that we use to identify which lane, and the obstacles, it's an array with all the obstacles for this segment. Why this? Because when we spawn it, we add it to the array, and when we simply move it, okay, we recycle basically our segment, so we want to delete the obstacles and create some other obstacles. Compile and save, and now we want to create the main logic here, okay. So go in track manager, and now we want to create a new function. Go in function here plus, and this one is called spawn obstacles. So now it's a little bit tricky, okay, so follow me in every single step, okay. the first thing to do here is basically not to create something here, but to go back in our event graph, and before, okay, we add a segment to the array, we want firstly to call our spawn obstacles. Why this? Because now if you press plus here, we can now add an input, and I want to call it the segment, and this one is basically our BP track segment. Okay, so now we have a reference of our current segment. So this return value go here, and now if you click on spawn obstacles, now we have it. Okay, now let's create a loop. So for loop, and so basically the first index is 0, but the last index is a random value between what numbers? 0 and 1. If it is 0, 1 time. If it is 1, 2 times. Okay, and so now we want to get with our segment, our get 3 lanes, okay, our index. Now we want to do a subtract, so we want to reduce it by 1 and simply use it for a random integer in range. Okay, so what is a random integer in range? Basically it takes, okay, the minimum value, the maximum value, and try to get a number random between these two values. In this case, of course, it's not the minimum, but it's the maximum value, okay? So or 0 or 1, because otherwise our player cannot move, okay, across our path, because it's a limit, okay? We don't want that. Now, for our loop, we want to get another random integer in range, okay? This is minimum 0, and the maximum is basically 2. So in reality our index, okay? Return value go here, and we want to check if this is not equal to another value. Later I will explain everything, okay? And so with a branch, if this condition is true, now we want to set a variable. This variable is basically our current random value. Is basically an integer, okay? I want to set it here with our return value. So I want to add a reroute node, and so for this default value, let's compile, and I want to choose 10. Get it and combine it here. Now, what's happening, okay? Now we want to get a random value between 0 or 2, because we use that value to decide which lane has the obstacle, okay? Or 0 or 1 or 2, the 3 lanes. But we want to check if that value is already taken, because otherwise we don't want that, okay? So how to do this? Basically the first time our current random value is 10, so of course is not equal to our random value, okay? But the second time we have set already our current random value, so it's basically maybe 1, okay? And so if the random integer in output has 1, we don't use that value. If has 0 or 2, we use it. Why this? Because otherwise you have 2 obstacles in one single place and can create some problem, okay? And we don't want that. Now let's continue, okay? A switch on integer, this one. The selection is basically our current random value, and we want to 0, 1 and 2. Now take this segment, and now I want to add a reroute node, okay, to organize a little bit. Another reroute node, this one, and maybe we can move it a little bit, okay? And now, okay, we use this value with maybe another reroute node to get our middle points. So I want to get middle point 0, okay, middle point 1 and middle point 2. For each one I want to get word location. We want to use it, okay, to simply set a new variable, okay? This variable is basically our current middle point lock, is a vector. We want to set it here and also here, okay? So these 3 set. So 0 go here, 1 go here and 2 go here. Word location of course go in our set. And so after that, I know it's not so organized, sorry for that, but it's a little bit more complex than usually. Now we want to do a spawn actor from class, okay? So each set go here, finally, okay, with our spawn actor. we want to set the class to BP obstacle, and our spawn transform, let's split it, and the location is basically our current middle point location. Okay? Simple as that. Compile and save. We need two last things here, okay? So one thing is to take this one, add array root node. I want to add this obstacle to, okay, our array of obstacles, okay? So I want to get obstacles, okay, get obstacles, and now do a simple add, okay, with our array, this one here, and the return value go here. Now the last thing is basically where is here, okay, in for loop. When it's completed, okay, we set our current random value to 10, okay. Compile, save. Now let's go back in our event graph in track manager. Basically, we spawn obstacles for each segment, and the segment is added to active segments. But of course, we need to do something similar for our function recycling assets, okay? So let's go in recycling asset, and now I want to do some little changes, okay? So let's move it a little bit, okay, this part. Maybe we can organize a little bit, okay? So we have it. We need to clear our obstacle array, okay? How to do this? We take our current segment, so our older segment, and I want to get obstacles, okay? With that, I want to search for each loop. The execution go here, and with our loop body, I want to simply delete, destroy actor, okay? Array element is our target, and when it's completed, now we can clear, okay, our array. So I want to do a clear array, okay? The obstacles go here in our clear, this one go in our remove index, and the last thing, when we move, okay, our segment, we delete all the obstacles. Now we want to spawn other obstacles, okay? And so simply take our spawn obstacles and simply call it, okay? Call the function. Our segment, of course, is our older segment. Compile and save, okay? So let's see if everything works, okay? Start level, check, yeah, 1, 2. Okay, there is only a little problem with the camera. So it's better, okay, to take our third person, so going content, third person, blueprints, BP third person character. In viewport, okay, I want to delete for now camera boom, okay. Take our follow camera and now drop here. It's now not a child of our camera boom, and now simply delete. Compile and save, let's go and see if everything works. Okay, there is one in the middle, one on the right, one on the left. Okay, it works. Always maximum 2, okay, not 3. Now the last thing to do today is to create our game over condition. Our game over condition is basically when we hit our obstacle. So in obstacle, let's create a box collision, a simple one, okay. Maybe we can scale it a little bit, so we do something like that. Compile and save. In event graph, we take our box, go in events, and simply click on component begin overlap. When on component begin overlap, we want to check if other actor is, of course, our third person character, so cast to BP third person character. If, okay, is our third person character, now we want to simply print the string, and this string is basically our game over, okay? In the future we will create a more complex condition, but for now can go well. So basically when you hit the obstacle, it's over, okay? So let's compile and save. And so as you can see, if I go here, game over, oh no. Oh my god. So guys, we have it, we have created our obstacles. This mechanic is a little bit more tricky, okay, than usually, but we have it. And now we can finally create our game over, okay, because now we can finally end this game. And in the future episode we will create the difficulty curve, the sliding and the jumping, okay? So please subscribe to follow the entire series, and now guys, thank you for everything. If you have some problems, drop a comment below and I will try my best to help you. Bye bye.